Hello everybody, back on the Astra today. Let me show you what I've been up to since we finished the welding repairs. So as I said in the last video, I did just want to spend a little bit of time cosmetically improving the repair just to keep her looking smart. I did go in first with fiberglass, especially because there was quite a lot going on here. We're now at the first body fill stage, and this is a good example again where if you use your guide coat and sand until you either see metal, the fiberglass underneath, then you know it's time to stop and put some more in. So we've got metal, fiberglass and a massive low here, and it's the same under here. Anywhere the guide coat isn't taken off is low, and you're just wasting your time sanding it any longer. And again at this end we're hitting metal here, we're starting to hit metal here, all these dark areas are low. Okay, so that's the job after the second fill. I'm just concentrating really on the bits you see, but I did fake that pressing line in there and everything seems to be blended in more or less like it was from factory. This end, same. So the next thing we need to tackle is areas like this, the edge of the weld run. This needs all to be sealed up because this is where rust will start, so I'll show you how I tackle that next. So when it comes to sealing on the external repairs, my go-to product is this, but any builder's adhesive will do you just fine. No more nails, whatever your preference is. The reason being that the stuff that Halfords want to sell you seam sealer wise generally sticks well enough to stay on, but it doesn't stick well enough to keep the moisture out. Rust starts to form and it doesn't have the decency to fall off, and as anybody who's done any rust repair knows, it just creeps and creeps and creeps, and you start off with a hole the size of a fag packet and you end up with a hole that you can stick your arm in. So you need something that's gonna stick to the bare metal. That is the absolute priority. So I like to use adhesive and not seam sealer. So the trick to applying this stuff is to roughly squidge it in where you want it, straight out of the gun, and then get yourself a little container with some white spirit in, and then with your finger just work it into the welds, and I guarantee you that'll still be there in years and years to come when all your fancy seam sealers have either caused the panel to rot out again or it's fallen off and failed. So I finished doing me grit filling all round any seam I can find. So the next thing to do is to get some rust killer on all this bare metal, and then we can splash a bit of primer on it. So I've gone ahead and treated all the bare metal with rust killer and done some masking up. Now we're far from ideal today because it's far too cold for painting, so we've had to get creative and get some heaters on the job just to take the chill off the metal, and we've got my can of primer sitting on the heater in the house, so we will battle through. So let me get you on the tripod and we'll get some primer on it. So I've given that 2 good coats of primer, and you can see we got it cooking away on gas mark 5, so that's all good. The next thing is top coat, and we're only interested in the bits that you can see, so it's just there, the here, and both sides of this fella. So you just need to pull the masking tape back a hair, try and soft mask it. I'll do the same with this one, and we should be good to go again. Okay, so the bits that you can see have all had 3 light coats now. So we got that end and this end, it's all looking tidy. Now, because we are painting in very less than ideal conditions, I am going to leave the heaters on until the paint is completely dry, so at least an hour or more. Because if you don't and the temperature drops, then the paint is more likely than not to bloom, which means you'll lose your shine and possibly it could go hazy as well. So make sure your temperature stays up, and then that should be fine. So now we've dealt with the cosmetic side of things, it's time to get some underbody protection on these repairs. When it comes to painting underneath cars, I like to use paint on my own personal cars for the same reasons as we talked about before, because I can monitor it, and if it starts to fail, then I can just touch it up or redo it in 3, 4, 5 years time, and I just know it's not hiding anything. So I like to use, you know, just sticky paint, 1 or 2 coats. Today we just happen to be using this felt adhesive. It looks very much like sticky black paint to me, and being adhesive, it should stick like the proverbial, so let's get it on there. Okay, so there she is. That's the end of the sill that we made up. All this was missing. So she's all protected, ready to face a few more winters yet. So as always, thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.